Hello everyone, this is Global Government News, reading an article that was posted on Pacific Free Press titled The Great Airport Scanner Scam, and it was posted on Tuesday, January 5th, 2010. Alright. Scan, baby, scan. That's the mantra among politicians at all levels in the wake of a thwarted terrorist attack aboard a Detroit-bound passenger jet. According to conventional wisdom, that would-be underwear bomber could have been stopped by airport security if he had been put through the full-body scanner, which would have revealed the cache of explosives attached to Umar Farouk Abdulmutallabs' groin. And right off the bat, government officials have even already said that these full-body scanners wouldn't have picked up the powder or liquid materials. So. But that's what they keep. But it's kind of like a double thing where they put out that information saying we need the full body scanners. We could have prevented the attack. But then when you look closely, you see that the scanners wouldn't have noticed the liquids or powders anyway. So within days or even hours of the bombing attempt, everyone was talking about the so-called whole body imaging as the magic bullet that could stop this type of attack, and announcing hearings by the Senate Homeland Security Committee, Joe Lieberman, who approached the use of scanners as a foregone conclusion, saying that one of the big urgent questions that we are holding this hearing is to answer was why isn't the whole body scanning technology that can detect explosives in wider use? Former Homeland Security Michael Chertoff told the Washington Post, "You've got to find some way of detecting things in parts of the body that aren't easy to get at. It's either pat-downs or imaging, or otherwise hoping that the bad guys haven't figured it out." And I guess bad guys have figured it out. Since the alternative is being propped by or groped by airport screeners, the scanners might sound pretty good. The TSA has claimed that the images are friendly enough to post in a preschool, though the pictures themselves tell another story, and numerous organizations have opposed them as a gross invasion of privacy. Beyond privacy issues, however, are questions about whether these machines really work, and about who stands to benefit from them, from their use. When it comes to high-tech screening methods, the TSA has a dismal record of enriching private corporations with failed technologies, and there are signs that the latest miracle device may bring more of them, or more of the same. Known by their opponents as digital strip search machines, the full-body scanners use one of the two technologies, millimeter wave sensors or backscatter X-rays, to see through clothing, producing ghostly images of naked passengers. Yet critics say that these two are highly fallible and are incapable of revealing explosives hidden in the body cavities, an age-old method for smuggling contraband. And this is what I said earlier, which is that it can't even detect these materials that were used in the, quote, underwear bomber. If that's the case, a terrorist could hide the entire bomb works within his or her body and breeze through the virtual strip search undetected. Yesterday, the London Independent reported on authoritative claims that officials at the UK Department for Transport and the Home Office have already tested the scanners and were not persuaded that they could work comprehensively against terrorist threats to aviation. A British defense research firm reportedly found these machines unreliable in detecting low-density materials like plastics, chemicals, and liquids, precisely what the underwear bomber had stuffed in his briefs. So that was actually my source, this British defense research. I remember I read an article recently within the past couple days, so this is the source that I was getting at. Yet the rush towards full-body scans already seem unstoppable. They were mandatory today as part of an enhanced screening for travelers from selected countries, and hundreds of the machines are already on order at a cost of about $150,000 apiece. Within days of the bombing attempt, Reuters was reporting that the greater U.S. government shift towards using high-tech devices could create a boom for makers of security imaging products, and it already has created a speculative spike in share prices in some companies. Which brings to us the money shot. The body scanner is sure to get the go-ahead because of the illustrious personages hawking them. Chief among them is former Department of Homeland Security Secretary Michael Chertoff, who now heads the Chertoff Group, which represents one of the leading manufacturers of the whole body imaging machines, Rapiscan systems. For days after the attack, Chertoff made the rounds on the media promoting the scanners, calling the bombing attempt a very vivid lesson in the value of that machinery, all without disclosing his relationship to Rapiscan, according to Washington Post. So yeah, I mean, I posted a video a couple days ago, just exclusively showing how Michael Chertoff, former Secretary of Homeland Security, has an invested interest in pushing these scanners that will take pictures of your naked body. So, like when I said, when I've made this claim as far as these people in the private sector that are globalists, that are for this new world order, they go back and forth in and out of the private sector into the public sector, and they use the public sector in our government, in our way of passing laws and that and policy. They use that to take advantage during crises, right? So that they can make a lot of money, but it also goes in hand with their New World Order police state surveillance grid. So it serves a lot of purposes, and it's not just about money. But just moving on here, it says, today 40 body scanners are in use at 19 U.S. airports. The number is expected to skyrocket, at least in part because of the Christmas Day incident. The TSA this week said it would order 300 more machines. In the summer, TSA purchased 150 machines from Rapiscan with $25 million in American Recovery and Reinvestment Act funds. So that was to help boost the economy by purchasing these body scanners. The Washington Examiner, and I mean, it even makes you wonder. It's like, yeah, they bought all these things in the summer before all of this. So as far as all of us conspiracy theorists go, that would kind of make sense. They bought them. Now they got to use them. Now they got to create a reason to be able to incorporate them. The Washington Examiner last week ran down an entire list of all the former Washington politicians and staff members who are now part of it, calls the full body scanner lobby. One manufacturer, according to Cleveland Plain Dealer, is American Science and Engineering Incorporated, AS&E, has retained the K Street and Wexler and Walker to lobby for federal deployment of security technology by Department of Homeland Security and Department of Defense. Individual lobbyists on this account include former TSA Deputy Administration Tom Blank, who also worked under House Speaker Newt Gingrich. Chad Wolf, former Assistant Administrator for Policy at TSA, and former aide to Kay Bailey Hutchinson, Republican from Texas, a top Senate appropriator, and the ranking Republican on the Transportation Committee, is also lobbying on AS&E's behalf. Smith's Detection, another screening manufacturer, employs top transportation lobbying firm Van Scoyoc Associates, including Kevin Patrick Kelly, a former top staffer to Senator Barbara Mikulski, Democrat from Maryland, who sits on the Homeland Security Appropriations Committee. Smith also retains former Congressman woman Helen Delick Bentley from Maryland, former Senator Al D'Amato, a Republican from New York, represents L3 Systems, about which Bloomberg wrote today has developed a more sophisticated system that could prevent smuggling of almost anything on the body, said Howard Rubel, analyst at Jefferies and Company, who has a hold rating on the stock. In forecasting the fate of the full body scanners, we turn next to the recent history, which saw the rapid rise and decline of previous miracle screening technology. And in the years following 9/11, dozens of explosives trace portals were installed in airports across the country at the cost of about $160,000 each. These puffer machines, so-called because they blow air on the passengers to dislodge explosive particles, were once celebrated as the no-touch pat-down. But in a Denver test by CBS in 2007, a network employee was sprayed with explosives and then walked through the airport's 3 puffers without any trouble. These machines also set off false alarms, and they frequently broke down, leading to sky-high maintenance costs. If you need to read any more of this, I'm kind of running out of time here because I have to cut it off by 10 minutes. But it's a good article. The link is going to be up here to the right. And thanks for checking this out. This is a big deal, guys, as far as these body scanners. So